I am Negan.
I am Negan.
I am Negan.
What's up? What's up, people? Welcome back to I Am Negan, the world's longest running Walking Dead podcast. We will be around even when The Walking Dead is done. We already have it all planned out that we will be doing full recap from season 1 once all the spinoffs are done, and we're just gonna keep looping. And then when we start dropping off, like the Menudos, if you get that reference, you know, others will come in and fill in for us and keep it going. There will always be an I Am Negan and a new episode out there in your feed. This is for life.
You know what they say?
What?
The infection is airborne.
It is airborne.
Yeah.
And it'll be spreading. So, yes, my name is Adam Vale, senior editor over at the Koalition, the TV terminal here on YouTube, and I'm joined by editor-in-chief of the Koalition, the man, the myth, the legend, Richard Bailey Jr.
What's up, Adam? What's up? What's up, listeners and viewers?
And Throwdown shows, Carlos Romero. We're not sure if he's related to the producer of this show, but we saw his name in the credits.
It could be one of my cousins. You know, I'm related to George Romero, Cesar Romero, John Romero. You know, all the Romeros.
All the good Romeros. We should put a little bulletin board and just stick them all up there.
Yo, what's up?
Right there. Shout out to the Romeros. So we are back, people. This is for the only spinoff you should be focusing on right now. Regardless of any series, this is a very strong spinoff. Daryl Dixon, season 3, episode 5, Limbo. Oh man, I enjoy this show. At first, it feels like it's 2 hours long. Right? I mean, we're watching this, people. We watch it together. Then we take our notes. We do this instantly, so no edits. This is a real conversation right after watching. And man, we were like, every time a major scene would happen, we're like, oh, it's over now, right? No, and then there's another scene and another scene. We're looking at a runtime of almost 58 minutes. Okay, 58 minutes. No commercial. 58 minutes of show. That's crazy. That's long. That's some quality right there. What did you guys think of that, though? Were you surprised that it was this long? Right? Am I the only one that thought?
Oh no, because the last episode was like in the 40-minute, like maybe 45 minutes or so. So yeah, I figured because it's only a 7-episode season, they're going to probably have some episodes that run a little bit longer. But yeah, I was surprised. Yeah, definitely almost 60 minutes long.
Almost 60 minutes.
Yeah, I can hear the timer right now. 60 minutes.
It almost. What was that?
It was definitely one of those episodes that I feel like actually they use the time well. You know, all the storylines that we went through on this episode, you know, they delved deep into a lot of the new characters and gave them some good leeway in the timing. So yeah, the 48 minutes or the 58 minutes were justified for sure.
Yeah, you know what? And so we don't go into the hour plus time. Let's just get this started, and then we'll get into the crazy side story that triggered here. And we're like, really? This is what's happening? And it was tons of action. If there's anything to take away from this, and if someone's for the first time checking this out and hearing us ramble about this, and they're like, what's the big deal about action? Action. There's tons of action. We're not seeing a bunch of people walking around in the woods talking and bumping into a walker and tripping on a rock. No, we're seeing a lot of crazy action. Gunfights, Daryl saying his crazy one-liners and basically not giving a shit about anything. It's fantastic. Norman Reedus is in TV land heaven with this character. He is playing the action hero that I feel like every actor that gets into acting, especially when it comes to wanting to be an action star, this is what they hope for. That they could have a show where they're the badass, that they get the motorcycle and shoot a shotty from the side and they're a perfect shot and have a crossbow. And right? Just saying all that sounds awesome. And it's like, yeah, guess what? You get to do this every week. You the man. You got the juice now. And that's Norman Reedus. So when people are like, oh, wow, I can't believe he's part of it. Watch this damn show. And then you tell me, would you turn this down? No, I don't think you would. And he's not. And he's doing a fantastic job. And he's living the dream. I'm envious. I'm jealous. I'm upset. I would have loved this type of role. Right. But no, they wouldn't do that. They'll put me in a walker suit and tell me to walk around like a zombie. Right. Out there in Georgia. It's too damn hot, Rich. Too damn hot. All right. So let's get into it. What happened to Roberto? Right. That was the whole question. We had Daryl, Antonio, Carol. They went after Roberto. Turns out that he did find Juliana. Weren't too sure how he did it, but he did. So they go and they get a little further. Now it's daylight, and we see a bunch of walkers gathered underneath an overpass, and we see a body hanging by the wayside on the rope, like they had lowered him down and like playing a game pretty much. These banditos that they were calling them, but I think they're really the soldiers of that group, right? They have time to kill to do something like this. And instead of just beating him up and dumping him to the walkers, they put this rope around his waist, they lowered him down, and they're just like doing like a bobbing for apples type of thing. Hey, here we go, and playing a game. And then they're going to cut the rope and just drop him. The walkers are pulling at his legs. We're not sure if he's dead. He's all beat up. He's not moving. But thankfully, Daryl, as I just said, is an amazing shot. He's an amazing shot. He shoots the dude that was playing with the knife, trying to cut the rope. The other one's like, hey, what's going on? Carol and Antonio run over. They start fighting all the walkers. Daryl takes out the other guy. They clear all the walkers. They grab Roberto. Thankfully, he's still breathing. And the plan is to bring him back to town. So before I go any further, what did you think of this? Opening scene, a lot of action, bobbing for apples with Roberto. Did you like it, Rich?
Oh yeah, I did enjoy it. They didn't waste any time. It picked up immediately after the previous episode, and we got our answer as to what happened with Roberto. They didn't let it drag out for a long period of time. And like you said, Daryl is a perfect shot because he took those guys out very, very quickly.
Yes, he is the man. He is the man. What else? Let's see here so we can get out of this segment here, because man, there's so much that happened this episode. At first we're like, oh, this is probably a good action one. No, compared to what happens later, this is like, it could have been a different episode. It's like it felt like so long ago. But the plan Antonio has like, hey, we have medicines and we can heal him. We have to bring him back to town. Did we do the audio? Did you get the audio ones that I sent?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, we're good. We're getting up to the part because then Carol's like, yeah, maybe we can go do this. But then it's like, wait a minute. They have to come up with a lie, right? They have to come up with something because we know how the mayor feels. He doesn't want to disrupt their alliance that they have with the other group and giving off the young women for protection and all that stuff. And having Roberto go out there to take back someone who volunteered, she volunteered to go, isn't a good look. It's not good. So how are they going to explain this? And he said, oh, we'll say bandits did it. Said this whole thing. So go ahead, play that little clip. That's
Maybe it's safer we don't know.
If we don't know.
We'll say he got jumped on the road or something. And that'll throw Fede off and he can get better. I mean, that's what matters, right?
It could work.
Oh, he needs a good liar. We got one of those.
Is that a compliment to say we need a good liar? We got one of those, and looks at Carol. You know what I mean? It's like,
well, would it be the first time she did this? I mean, she's done double agent duties.
She's definitely done, but it's just funny to hear him just come out and say it. Like, you're a great liar. We got one of those, Carol. Go do that. But she's like, you know what? Yeah, whatever. Let's play dumb. Let's do that. All right. What about you? And then talks to Antonio. Where was that convoy going? Oh, they're probably going to Barcelona. We see a map later, but I'm assuming he found that in the truck that he winds up getting from the villagers. But in this scene, no, he doesn't have a map. He's like, all right, where are they going? Barcelona. All right, I'm off. Gets on his bike. and off he goes, right? He doesn't care. He's gonna go out there. Daryl in Spain, it writes itself. Yeah, I'm telling you, when I just saying it sounds weird to think from all the years, we're talking over a decade, to go back. If you were to tell me, oh, by the way, you see this guy with Merle here, these two brothers, that guy down, yeah. This guy, the Boondock Saint guy, he is going to be the big star of this whole show. Get his own show, 2 shows, have another show where he's just on a bike riding around with celebrities. He is going to be the face of this franchise, and I would have been like, full of it. There's no way, especially with a name like Daryl Dixon. Come on now, But no, it happened, and here we are, and the dude is riding around in Spain doing all kinds of craziness. So. Oh man. All right. So what are we up to here with this? Right. I'm trying to see how Antonio. So then he brings up so they bring him back to town. Roberto, we see the mayor's mom doing her medicine stuff. Carol makes a joke about, because he was like, oh, she's putting herbs and all of the things. It was like, oh, like a witch. No. Well, yeah, I guess like a witch, but we all know this. Every culture has this. There's certain things that you take, whether it's herbs or ointments or different things, home remedies, right? There was a whole book that you could get back in the day. Remember the infomercial? And so yeah, there's some people that just know these recipes, and he had brought it up, and so they're there. We see people praying over Roberto, trying to do whatever they can to heal him. If there's anything that doesn't get answered in this episode, is Roberto. Does he make a full recovery? I don't know. Should he? I don't think so. I think it'd be crazy if, let's say, he recovers and he has severe memory loss and he doesn't know who he is.
His body will recover, but his heart would not.
Oh no. It's hard. It's over. It's over. But one of the key things worth mentioning here, because I'm looking at my notes, passed over right before Roberto leaves. Was it Carol or Daryl? Somebody put the chain, Juliana, the chain, the little compass thing that he had given her, in his hand.
Yeah. His father
did it. His father.
Yep.
Why would his father do that? I thought it was one of the Americanos that did that. Because this is you're trying to make it seem like he didn't get close to the girl that he was chasing after that. It was just he just robbed and stuff. Why put that? Everybody knows that she had that on. They seen it.
Exactly. He did it, I guess, just for hope, to try to give his son some hope that he would come back, that his love is not lost. But yeah, just, I guess, to try to instill hope that he's fighting, and then he has something to fight for. That's my only logic. But yeah, it wasn't smart, because the mayor definitely noticed.
Put it later in his pocket. Dude, don't put it out. It's too obvious, especially. Well, you know what? Maybe because Antonio wasn't in the conversation. He didn't hear Daryl and Carol say, let's just make up some shit. Let's lie. Mm-hmm. They should have included him, because if they did, they'd be like, you know what? That ruins our lie. Okay. Mm-hmm. That's evidence that he did find her. But the mayor walks into the room. He starts asking questions. We already, the BS lie, bandits at it. And like, okay, well, where's your other little friend here, Daryl? Oh, he's at the beach. He's at the boat. Yeah, he's fixing the boat. Like, oh, he's gonna stay out there. Yeah, he's an outdoorsy type. And that is not a lie, because he is very outdoorsy. That's how he was introduced to us. But no, as we know, he's not at the boat. But the mayor was like, well, if he comes in, he has to let us know, just for his safety. And that sounds great. But then I brought him, like, how would he let you know? He's gonna knock on the door. Yeah, that's it. It's not like he has a cell phone. He's not gonna do a flare. Hey, it's me. I'm on my way. Just letting you know. I don't know. That was weird to make that comment about, he should let us know when he's coming. I don't think so. Let's see, what else did we have coming up here? All right, so we get Daryl back on his motorcycle making a whole lot of noise. That always bothers me. I get it.
You got to make an entrance somehow.
I know. And I'm sure there's people that argue a car could just make just as much noise. It's true, but just something about it, especially with the motorcycle. Motorcycle's very loud, and he is chasing after a convoy. If they hear, they can hear from a distance away of a motorcycle. You can hear it all the time, right? I'm sure anyone, wherever you're at, you hear, you know exactly when a motorcycle's coming. It's going to stop. It's going to draw attention. It's not going to help. But whatever, it is what it is. It's his vehicle choice. But he's on the road and he sees something up ahead. He stops, takes a look. He's like, wait a minute, should I shoot this? Is that a walker? No, this is this dude just walking with no eyes. And he's just like, oh, looks all banged up. And Daryl walks over and the guy says, agua, agua. He's like, okay, I got some water for you, buddy. And the dude is just greedy. He's just pouring the whole thing out. And he should give himself a bath. He's like, hey, what are you doing? And he looks over and it looks like vultures. And he's like, they're waiting for me. They're coming for me. And he's just talking crazy. And Daryl's like, well, whatever. Grabs his water bottle. I would not touch that water bottle after that because the dude just licked all over it, the rim. I'm pretty sure I saw like tongue moving. Would you?
Well, in spirit of season 2 of the Daryl Dixon show, he Frenched the bottle.
He did. Oh man, but he takes it and then he drives off. There was another little quick scene where Carol is talking with Antonio about what's going on, and Cowgirl shows up, and we find her name. What was it? It was
Paz.
Paz.
Yeah, Paz is her name. I like Cowgirl better, but what's it? Paz. Right? It doesn't roll. It doesn't. But it's like, oh, you can speak freely, and just they tell her everything that happened, the truth, and where Daryl is, and he's like, yeah, he's on his own. Once they did that, and she made that, she did that head turn, like looking off in the distance, as if like time for me to go. Right? Yeah. I thought she was gonna head out. The answer is no, as we all know. She does not head out. Hell, we don't see her again at all in this episode.
Well, she could show up at a later time. She may be on her way there. Maybe she'll show up in the next episode. Yeah, we have to wait and see.
Yeah, no, it definitely gets but she doesn't do anything. But we do get some great camera shots here. The scenery, we crack jokes. Carlos recently just went to Spain, and we're like, oh, you remember this location? Remember that location? Oh, wait a minute. Anybody ever played Death Stranding? We remember all of this. It definitely felt like they just watched the game, played the game, and said, hey, can we incorporate this into the show? Let's put him out there. It's like, yeah, I think we can, but we got to do a side mission. All right, we got that. And that's coming up. Yes, right after this commercial break. Boop. No, no commercial break. So we get this cool drone shot, and we see something. First time I've ever seen this. A guy on a horse with a guitar, just in front of a bunch of walkers, pulling a train car on a train track. That's genius. Give a shout out to the creator of that idea, the writer, or whoever was in the room. It's like, hey, I got an idea that we're going to put in this episode, something new. It's going to move slow. It's not going to make much sense, but it's going to look cool. And that's it. It really looked cool. Logistically, it doesn't make much sense. You're going to move so damn slow. You're going to make a lot of noise. No, I don't get it. But from what we understand, this is a band. This is one of the bandit bad guys in the area, and this is how he navigates around. Right? So we got Daryl. He's on his bike. He sees this, but they see him. We also see that the boss, I'll just say his name now is Franco, because when later on some characters bring it up, and I just don't want to just say the dude inside. So his name is Franco. He's with a girl. He's in a bath. He's having a good old time, right? He's like, yeah, there we go. Life is good on this little caravan here. But he sees it. They say, hey, look, this guy up there. Well, he wants his bike. Wants to take him and go kill him. Take the bike. There you go. So, surprise, surprise, they go chasing after him on their own bikes. Right? They're rubbing up. They're going up and down the hill. All the stuff, shooting and fighting and then stuff like that happening. But the long short of it is that we get this cool standoff spot. Right? Daryl on one side turns around on his hill. I guess he feels like he's in a dead end, right? Because why didn't he just keep going? What was his reason for stopping? Do you know, Rich?
I think they wanted to have some type of standoff because the other guy had a bike. That's the kind of vibe that I felt when I saw that back and forth.
Yeah, because that's what I was saying. I was like, it must have been for the show because he could have just kept going. It wasn't oh wow, you ran into a wall or a cliff side. You know, at first I was like, oh, there's a cliff. I was like, oh, he probably got to jump something. But then the camera shows a different angle. No, there's nothing. He can keep going. But for some reason, he stops and turns around and puts his rifle up on the front. Starts looking at the guy. You see another guy. He's revving his engine. He's like, yeah, we're gonna do this duel thing, which we get 2 times. We get again later on, and they start revving at each other. Boom. Daryl takes a shot. Oh no, this is crazy. Daryl missed. Never misses. But he does a quick reload while still riding, misses again, then takes another shot. Weird cut here. Now we are watching the screener, people. Sometimes things aren't complete. Maybe the final cut version that's on AMC Plus or then gets aired shows something else, but it doesn't. We just don't see what happens. The next thing we know, the bandit is getting up. His arm hurts. He looks over, and Daryl's bike is on the floor, mangled, and Daryl is gone. So we're assuming they both shot at each other's bikes, and then they went flying off their view. Right? That's what we're guessing happened because they definitely didn't collide.
Like. Yeah,
we didn't see it, but it would have been cool to see that. Just to see them banging and see them go flying in air. It's like, oh no, Carol. You know, it's like, you know, but that was pretty cool. But right after that, we just start seeing Daryl walking around like Jack Sparrow. You know, he's got his bandana around his head. He's like, water. I mean, things went really bad for him, and I'm sure at that point,
the previous dude that wanted the water told him, he's like, "You're next." He was right.
That's true, right? He was next. He was like, "Damn right, I'm next, fool! You just drank all my water. Thanks. You know, you made me next." But yeah, he's out there. He's just walking around. He's struggling. He doesn't know what he's gonna do. And then he sees some people. He takes his gun out, points it. But hey, they're friendly, right? What did they say, Rich? Come on, you pick this up.
Oh, what is it? Buenos,
there you go.
Buenos dias, senor, or something like that.
Buenos noches, right?
Noches.
Right? Buenos noches.
That's it. Yeah,
right?
that's it.
Good. But the thing is, really, your life is horrible. I mean, and that's not just me saying this. This is them saying it in the next scene. But this guy's very upbeat. Was that Mateo? That wasn't Mateo.
That was Mateo.
That was Mateo. He looked better in the dark than in the light. Because Mateo has had a rough life. Holy moly. That face. I couldn't get over it. Shout out to the people that did the makeup for Mateo. With the sunken eyes, the blisters on his face, his stringy hair, just everything else. He just looks miserable. He looks horrible. Like, he even said later on, he was like, what, they're seen as the leopards? You know, it's like, oh man, what do you have, Mateo? Please let us know so that way Daryl Dixon could keep some distance. But no, they're nice. Him. They bring him back. It looks really cool scene here at night with the torches everywhere. We see there's like a community within like this valley, a bunch of people there around a campfire. He sits down, agua, por favor, agua. Right? It's like, okay, all right, fine. Yeah, they give him some water. More. They give him water. More. He's just so greedy. Do you not see these people? You know, it's like, come on now. Life is hard for everybody. Lady comes out, says, no more for you.
We're in a recession.
Right? Things are hard here. And then she even says, like, what we have, this is all we have. All we have is this water. You know, and then she tries to communicate with him, and the gist of it is, I guess no one knows how to drive, and they have a truck, and they said that they take them to the water supply that they would have, and I guess this is where they would catch their rainwater. But the bandits came and just gobbled it all up, and they took it on the train. And that's when he said the guy's name, Franco. Now, he's the leader of the band, and he's on a train and took all their water. This is and they're gonna die in like 5 or 7 days if they don't get this water. So the lady that's in charge of this group, I'm gonna give you my truck. Here are the keys. Go get the water back. All right, let's right there. Let's just stop. All right, you're putting him on a side quest to get water. You just met this dude. Now I joke about, oh, they gave the truck because he's the only one who knows how to drive, but I guess that is the case because there are people there are adults there. Somebody should be able to do it, but I guess no one can fight, and they assume that he can, right? That's what's going on here?
Yeah, when they saw he had the shotgun, they said, "Oh, he can fight, so maybe he can help us." That was what Mateo was thinking when he was talking to the lady.
Man, I don't know. I get you have to come up with some way to bring him into this battle, but I thought he already had a valid reason. You know, he's on his way to Barcelona. These are bad people that attacked him first, and now he's got to make them pay. Do we need this side thing? I don't know. I don't know if we need it, but
well, one quick thing I will add. Yeah, I it's a good question about the side thing. I also think this side quest story was also meant to further develop Daryl as a character, because the whole thing about when he kept asking for the water, you know, they're making him very selfish this particular season, because even when he was back with back with the others, and he's talking about taking all of this equipment, when they were talking about when they were putting the boat together, just taking all the equipment that they have. And Carol was trying to tell him, no, this is still their stuff. You know, we can't take everything. But so yeah, Daryl is kind of selfish. So this is also to humble him as well, because now he sees and understands these people, they don't really have much. So he can't just hoard everything for himself. That's why I think they did that too.
Yeah. Or maybe he felt he did his good deed before with the guy with no eyes. He's like, hey, I gave my water to that guy. Hey, do you know that guy with 2 empty eye sockets? I helped him. So can you give me agua? Pour it in my mouth. I was just like a funnel. I just lean my head back. Just but tell him all the stuff about this truck and stuff. And he was like, then she says, well, we're going to sleep now. We'll talk about it in the morning. Okie doke. Yeah, he wakes up, everybody's looking at him, and he's like, all right, I'll go get your water back. Did we really see how the water was moved around? Was it like in jugs, or right? We didn't see it.
No, we didn't. Nope.
And I would have liked to see how they took this water. Like, I get the idea of catching rainwater and stuff, but I wanted to see it where they're in big jugs, and then they closed it, and then they transport. We don't ever see that. But anyway, he says he's going to go get this water. He knows this train. He ran into them. They messed up his bike. So then he's like, all right, I'm going to go do this. But then he says, we're going to have to fight. Fight. And he's like, oh yeah, fight. And then he shows he's got 4 bullets. He needs more. There's like a lot of banditos. What do you need? I need more of this. I need rope. I need a lot of rope. And cue the montage, right? We got everybody in the village working and doing stuff. Kind of threw me off at this point, because I'm like, you're gonna go you're gonna go over there and get the water. What? We didn't know the plan was to lure them back to the village to set up these traps, right? He didn't, at least for the viewers, we weren't told this, but we see that's what's going on. There was a funny little segment where a guy is like, oh, he gives him the rope. He's like, oh, this is great, real good rope. And then he says something to the lady that's running. He's like, oh, he wants to know, how do you like everything? How do you like it? Like, he just said it. He said it was good, it's great. I don't know so he decides to say he likes it in French, right? He came with one of his little French things, like, oh, it's like, oh. It's like, okay, we get it. But still, they did the whole little montage, setting things up. Okay, now he's off. He gets in the truck, he drives off. There's a map. We see him with the map. I'm assuming that was in the glove box. right? And then Carlos, you brought this up that he's just got so much on his plate that if that map was, let's say, a map from like Red Dead or even Death Stranding, we would just see dots everywhere. He's got so many different objectives.
The map has got so many markers right now.
Right, we got the Barcelona. That's the long form main story map, right? Mission. Then we got Roberto. He's hurt. We don't know his status. Then we got the moving train, which I guess just circles around like in Assassin's Creed Syndicate, right? Where is it going?
Or Snowpiercer.
There's
Waterpiercer.
Snowpiercer slow edition. This thing has to be going like 3 miles an hour. It's like how fast can you be going with this? And who agrees to do this? Like
and is the guitar still there? Like, did they break the guitar?
It would have been great. That's one thing, Daryl. I don't think he can play the guitar, but it would have been cool if he picked it up, and just bring that along with everything else that he has.
You never know.
You never know. But then we get back, right? So then Daryl makes his mark. I guess he was trying to track the train tracks, right? Figure out where it's going. We don't know where this thing is going. We're assuming Barcelona, right? Because everybody's going to Barcelona. But he could have just left. Now, this is a side mission. We've all played games. Yeah, he said he can get the water. He didn't say he was going to do it right now. He could have went to Barcelona, saved the Juliana, and then on the way back, if he sees this caravan here, then see if he can go do it. But no, whatever. He heads over. He sees the boat. I mean, the boat, the train. And this is where things get interesting because then the guys on the bike see him. Well, at least the truck. And then it was like a weird cut, right? And next you know, they're right near the village, right? They're right back. He's driving through the village. We got a bunch of guys on bikes. Now, we know there's 4 left, but what? How many were there? Do you know? Anybody did a head count? We know the final head count is 4 to go with the 4 bullets.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
there was a few others, but I don't think it was the final head count.
No, but the only reason why I bring that up is because once he drives through, we see the first trap trigger when they pull the rope, and it causes some of the guys to flip off their bikes and stuff, and then the villagers just swarm them and just start like pelting them with stuff. Boom, takes them out. And then there's a little girl who's playing a scorekeeper here, and she's like, "Okay, there's 4 left." And we're just watching, and they're just picking them off. One guy starts going down the road. They threw this one. Looked like spikes. It didn't even look like rope, right? It was like a spike or something, and it went across, sent him flying. He goes to stand up, and Daryl shoots him. Boom, 1 down. Then we get another one who goes up a hill. Boom, we just see the helmet rolling down. All right. Third one also gets picked off, just wandering around. And then the 4th one, of course, has to put up the fight. This is the one that we were sort of not sure of how he died, but at least we know he did die. He's on his bike. Daryl lines up to take a shot. And it looks like he does shoot him, but he shoots him just in the hand or something? Because something falls off. Because then he grabs his hand. How does that happen? He just blow off the dude's hand. I don't know, but hey, TV land. But he then, with his other hand, he grabs a battle axe that he has, and you see the villain like, "Whoa!" He's got it, and he starts revving up, and he goes after straight at him. And this is when Daryl takes out his sword that he had there and slices him, and we get this beautiful overhead shot, just this blood trail. And at first, you thought that he was decapitated, right? You're like, "Oh, this was it," but no, it looks like he just sliced him in the gut. Because we see him, his head intact. He's like, "Oh, he's still enough to grunt," and then he dies. There you go. So 4, all done, mission complete. What did you guys think of all of this side mission? At first, I'll just get my part. At first, I wasn't sure, but I'm like, "Oh, really? We're gonna throw in this? Is this gonna be the rest of this episode?" But no, I mean, we saw the beginning, the middle, and the end of this whole side mission here. What did you guys think of it, Carlos?
I thoroughly enjoyed every piece of this section for most of the episode. Quite frankly,
Mhm.
um, I the like I told you, man, the locations are what makes a lot of this show. It looks authentic. It looks like he's really in a place where people are running out of water, all that stuff. It looks hot. The birds look real, everything. And the action was good, even though obviously, like you mentioned, they had to skimp a little bit of it, but they spent just enough to make it look good. And yeah, I like the lady who tricked the tricked the dude thinking he's like, oh, he's over there.
Mhm.
And yeah, everything about this section was really good. Probably the highlight of the episode, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree 100% with what Carlos said. All of the set pieces, fantastic. I can tell that the producer of this episode is a huge Mad Max fan because you see the Ravagers.
Who isn't Rich? Come on now. Who isn't?
Oh, yeah,
If you
yeah.
find that person, then block
You.
them because.
Oh yeah, no, but you could definitely tell the inspiration with the way you said the Ravagers. What did you call them again?
Bandits?
The bandits.
Bandito.
The way the bandits. The whole car chase stuff. Yeah,
The dry
all of
bandits.
that. All of that was the inspiration was there. But no, I agree with Carlos. Fantastic throughout this. I do agree also. This was a great episode overall, but definitely awesome action sequences. And by the way, when they had the kid that was doing the play-by-play, as you said, and they kept cutting back and forth, that created great tension, especially when it got to that fourth and final guy, because you're wondering, okay, what happened? And then before you could see it, they said, oh yeah, and then that's 4. And of course, when they said 4, you think, oh, that's it. So Daryl took this guy out. Nope. This guy I got one more thing for you, Daryl. Then Daryl had to really take him out. So yeah, I thought that was fantastic.
It felt like a Western in a way.
Mm-hmm.
That duel. And shout out to them. That they did a really good job with this. I'm pleasantly surprised by especially these last 2 episodes have been great.
So much action, so much going on, so much with the set design. This took time. All of this takes time, and they're putting a lot of effort into the production of Daryl Dixon. For those who are like, I don't want these spin-offs, and they're never like the real thing, like the Mothership. It probably surpasses a lot of what we saw on Mothership in the later seasons, because we usually wouldn't see this much action until like a mid-season finale, right? Or finale. Then it starts getting crazy. We're getting this every week. So this is good. Again, if you're watching this and that's why you're watching us, it's like tell your friends, tell your friends, grandmothers, grandparents, and next door neighbors. Tell everybody they should be watching Daryl Dixon. This is quality. I'm tired of telling people. I swear, I feel like every time I bring this up, I get there. I can hear the eyes rolling, like if they're dry eye, and just like they just like, come on now, really? They got a spin off.
They treat us like we're part of a cult, like the lady trying to hear Roberto.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like we're part of the cult. We're the problem. There's something wrong with us. What is wrong with you? And then what happens? You know what's gonna happen? Something big will happen, some big celebrity or someone will jump into the universe that'll pull everybody in, and then they'll be like, oh wow, did you know The Walking Dead had a bunch of other shows? I was like, yeah, we've been talking about it forever. Because that was the whole thing with Jeffrey Dean Morgan. When he came in, I know a lot of people that were not into The Walking Dead that jumped on because of him and the work. He was Scrubs
Comedian.
or something. Yeah, he did a bunch of other shows, and people. He's a well-known actor. So it was like a big deal that he joined. They're like, oh wow, they're going big time now. They get big name TV actors. Not so much in movies, but in TV land, he's a big deal. So that was a big one. But hey, who knows? I still think this is a sleeper hit. This is one that a lot of people aren't paying attention to. So just wanted to talk about that. Anyway, back to the coverage. After that's all done, the town is happy. They're like, yay, we got rid of this. Now what? Now part 2 of his plan, which is he goes to, again, he was looking at the map. He goes to an overpass above before the train passes under. Who knows? I would have liked to see how long he waited there, because it must feel like forever. Because remember, this is just getting pulled by walkers. But anyway, he's there, he's waiting. Once it goes under, he jumps down onto it. There's a guy, fixing something on the top. And he looks at him, he's like, no, I was waiting for him to say, I'm just a hired help. I'm not, and it doesn't matter. He gets killed. Daryl has no time to help anybody. All right. So everybody has to pay their price, and he kills him. So then he does a quick little scene inside. We see Franco again with Lola. That's the girl's name, right? And he's talking about her and how pretty she is and all this stuff. But then the caravan stops moving. It's like, oh, wait, what's going on? What happened? Is there something in the road? On the train tracks? And we see another body hanging off the side and all this chaos. Now, this is the part that I guess I was writing my notes. And see, how did the windows get smashed open that all the walkers came in? What triggered that?
Well, when Daryl stopped the train, he let the chains loose to where where all the walkers were. This is why they then
then they smashed the windows. I got that part. It was just I wasn't sure how they were smashing the windows. So then they just said once it. All right, so the guy on the guitar, we obviously once he cut the chains and he's still playing it like. Dun, 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 dun. That's it. He's gone. Shout out to the Mr. Ed, the horse. The horse is gone too. I'm sure, right? They didn't show that horse running off for its life. They're both gone.
But they don't need horses, though.
They do.
I thought they only eat humans.
They eat everything.
Oh,
that was the whole reason why we never see cattle.
Man,
remember? I
wanted Daryl riding the horse.
Oh man, I want Daryl to ride. I want to see Daryl ride a walker horse. In fact, yeah, that's what I want to see. And he just tames it, and it just never wants to bite him. It's okay. It's got like holes. You could see the horse ribs on the side. That would be crazy. And it's like drooling. Yeah, let's make that happen. Let's make that happen. Walker horse. But so I guess that's what happened. Once you cut the chains, now they do that. Then if they did a little U-turn, went back in and started smashing to get inside. So the windows break in. Daryl gets in there. He's fighting the walkers. We asked this question. People put in the comments. Did Lola survive? Did she get bit? Did she turn? A lot of chaos here. I thought I saw her jump through the window and escape. Right? I don't know. Maybe she did.
Yeah.
Maybe she did. It looked like she did. Like she got out of there. But
we definitely didn't see her die. So I would assume that she escaped.
Yeah, and I assume that we will see her again, and she was the one that told on Daryl, and that's how the conflict, the World War Spain is going to happen.
I mean, I don't want to undermine how Daryl got in there, because I wrote in big caps, Daryl dives through the window, because that was wild. He really smashed through as if like it was like one of those running smashes, right? Like head first. Shout out to like Wolverine from the Deadpool movie where he smashed through the back. Remember at the end when he was fighting all the Deadpools and he just smashed. That's the way this was. It was like out of nowhere, like a torpedo into this thing. Kind of comical, but it just shows Daryl has turned into a superhero in this universe. That's the best way to describe it. The fact that he's awesome with his shots. He is always cool, always knows what he wants to do, get things done, never panics. And he has no fear. This man has no fear. It doesn't matter what environment he's in. And here it is. He's diving through a train car window here, fighting walkers. One point he bumps into Franco back to back. They're like, we'll deal with our issues after this. Let's clear the room. They clear it. All the walkers are dead. They face each other. Lola, she's gone. He gives her a hold up. Takes a deep breath, right? Okay, Daryl's paying some respect with that. He's like, all right, this is how we do it. We got some rules here, right? No weapons. They're going to fight, but the guy's going to cheat. He goes to grab something. Daryl grabs him, dumps him into the dirty tub water, and drowns him in it. He drowns him. And was it Carlos? It was you that said this, right? He was like, oh, he's going to have to shoot him in the head. He's going to turn. And like on cue, Daryl stops, goes, grabs the gun, comes back, blows up in the water. It's a big splash. It was pretty cool. What did you think of this whole fight? Again, we got two big fights. We had the whole thing happen in the village, and then now we had this whole train. What did you think?
Yeah, it's like you guys mentioned earlier. It's a side story, a side quest, but you have to complete all the objectives of the quest. And again, the whole thing is that Daryl, his goal, he did agree to get the people the water, but he also needed to get his bike back. His bike was still on that train. So that's why I figured, okay, this episode can't end without him getting his bike back. So I'm glad they followed it all the way through. And I thought it was fantastic. A lot of action, a lot of back and forth. I thought the scene where Daryl was on the train fighting the walkers with Franco back to back. That was great. Very, very entertaining. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, we had that scene on the train. We had the scene in the location with the folks that need the water. And we also had the desert scene where they did that little sort of joust scene type thing with the motorcycles. So this whole episode was jam packed with action. Shout out to them. And I'm worried about the horse. We didn't get to see the horse, so we can't definitively say the horse was taken down. I'm still holding on hope. And Daryl running through the glass and all that stuff. It was really good.
Not a cut on his face. That's the other thing with all this craziness. It's like
probably got a wedgie though.
Maybe a little wedgie, maybe a short shoulder or something like. Oh man,
carpal tunnel.
A little bump on the way in, but no, it was good. It was good. I enjoy this. The camera work. Just the stunts that they're pulling together with all the action sequences. It's so original. The whole thing with the train, we goof about the whole layout, but still, it's cool to see something like that. I would have never guessed it. A bunch of walkers pulling a train car on a train track and a guy on a horse leading the way. Because that makes sense. What's motivating these walkers? Well, they want to get to the guy on the horse. They want to eat him, and that's it. And who knows? Maybe they do pick up speed later on. The more walkers they find, the more they chain them up. Next you got like 200-300. Maybe you can pick up some speed. But anyway, that's done. He heads back to town, and now we know that he brought the water, right? That we know. We don't see him giving the water, but I'm sure the water was in the truck. Okay. Hey, thanks. You even called it out. They're wasting the water, right? We see them pouring water everywhere. It's a mess.
It's in the train, by the way, not the truck.
It's in the train. That doesn't make sense. Wait a minute. Wait, what? How did he get the train car over there?
No. Well, I don't know if he got the train car over there or he got the people to the train. I think he might have.
No, because they were in their village area. We see everybody. The little kid was there, Rosa.
I don't remember him. I don't remember seeing the village when they were all there. Rich could be the tiebreaker.
Rich,
but
where were they, Rich?
And Mr. Richard Bailey.
Rich doesn't know.
No. You're talking about the people. What at the end after when they had
after he killed Franco? Yeah, I thought he put the water jugs or whatever in the truck and headed back to town to bring the water.
No, they were still where the train was at though. So the people came to where the train was at, and that's where they were filling up their cups with water.
Okay, all right. Yeah. So then that's it. All right, so I got that wrong. All right, so then that explains. But then somebody fixed his bike.
Not the last time.
There you go. Not the last. It won't be the. Yeah, there you go. Wasn't the first one. Won't be the last. But what was it? Who fixed up his bike? Because it was just there, like Pee-wee's Big Adventure. It's just like, I was like, yo.
The producer of the episode, Carlos's relative, he fixed the bike.
He fixed it up.
Off camera, of course.
Yeah, because he was like, as we said, he wanted his bike, but remember, his bike was damaged. So even if he found it, if they took his bike, like you said, You still have to fix it, but I guess they fixed it. Okay, fine. I could accept that the bandits fixed it so they can use it, but it was just standing there alongside the train, just like not, you know what I mean? Like untouched, like waiting for someone to just get on and ride. But a buddy also hands over his rifle. He's like, oh, thank you. Everyone's being nice. They're like, hey, this is great. We get Mateo again. Oh, man, he needs some treatment. His face. Oh, my Lord.
Maybe you just need a hydration.
Oh, man. But he's there. Everyone's wishing him all the best. Little Rosa. They exchange names with Daryl. He's happy. She's happy. He gets on the bike. He's like, all right, where you going? Got to go to Barcelona. I did my side mission here. You know, and that's it for him. He is off. I think that was it, right? That was the last time we saw him on this episode.
Yep.
But man, that was wild. That was wild. All that going on. But now we see Boat Lady with her boy toys, or whoever's left. She's not crying too much about the dude that died now. Like, they moved on from that.
Was
you
it
was
Connor,
yeah. Cooper. I think it was Cooper. There was no mention of him at all in this episode. No RIP, no, oh, man, I'm sorry for your loss. You know, Carol talking. Nope. Out of sight, out of mind. Shows up, starts hanging out. They go check up on Roberto, see how he's doing. They need more materials from the orchard, something like that, right? Whatever for treatment, things to make, the ointments or whatever it is. Need some more stuff. They need to head out and go get some stuff. But the lady there, but we'll call her Boat Lady. I forgot her name, but she's over there hanging out with Carol, and they're talking. And I think this is where we get that cool audio.
In Galicia.
Don't take this the wrong way. But has anyone ever told you you are a horny old lady?
Usually they don't call me a lady.
They call me Party in the Pants, you know, because because it comes up where she's like, oh, you know what, you're right, I was wrong about you and your friend. You like the local wine, right? Because she sees how she's reacting with Roberto. Antonio, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh no, you know, but no is no, because shortly after she's over there trying to convince Antonio to go back to America with them, to Ohio. His life could be good, you know. And he's like, no, I like where I'm at. You know, I tried going to Barcelona, you know, that didn't work out. So yeah, but what about America, Ohio? Everybody wants to go there. Right? It's like, so I don't know if she's just in denial or she just doesn't want to fess up to the Boat Lady. But we see where it's going with this. What do you guys think? I thought that was funny. I feel like there's still more to come with this Boat Lady. She's going to play a major role in some way.
Yeah, I thought it was funny. She very well could have been referring to what you guys said his name is again, Antonio.
Antonio, yeah.
I also thought she was basically flirting with Carol to say, yeah, you know, well, you can always, you know, you didn't like Daryl. Maybe you might like somebody like me as well.
Whoa!
So I mean,
Whoa!
Hey, they said that she was a horny lady. Yeah, obviously, yeah, she's talking about Antonio, yes, but I wouldn't say it's out of the realm of possibility she will make a pass at Carol also.
He's trying to add to her collection. She was like, you know, I got an open spot. Cooper, he's gone. He had his own room. Life was good. We had a schedule, you know. Things could work out.
Adam brings up a good point. Maybe Carol doesn't want Antonio. Maybe she wants Roberto. Maybe that's what's the end goal.
Well, then she'd be happy.
Carol, I hear you like him young.
Right, like him young, exactly. She's over here crying about Justina. He's like, you don't need her. You need a mature woman.
Maybe that's why Carol convinced Justina to go with the Alcazar. We're figuring this out, folks. We are putting two and two together with this.
And making six. Yep, we got this. we got this.
Mess.
But but yeah, that happened. Roberto pretty much. I mean, Antonio. I don't think he's gonna leave. That makes no sense. Also, unless the town everything goes to poop, and they want to kill Roberto, because remember that was another quick scene where Roberto's talking to the mayor, and he's talking about he's healing up, but don't worry, once he gets up, he'll be on the up and up. Things will be fine with Roberto. He won't be any trouble, type of thing. Like we'll get back to things back to normal. Let's move on. Because he doesn't want his son kicked out of the village. And I think that's where it's going to go. And it's definitely going to happen because shortly after this, we see that the mom, the mayor's mom, who's taking care of Roberto, opens up his hand and finds the chain, the compass, the whole thing that belonged to a Juliana, right? Is Juliana or Justina? Justina.
Every village has a snitch.
Right, there's always this. Well, can you blame this snitch? Because the mayor's her son. So I mean, she's doing her part. She's the mom. She's gonna help out her boy. She's backing him on all his ideas and plans. So why stop now? You know, she doesn't have any loyalties to Roberto. He already tried to skip out with the chick the first time. So no, she's gonna help out. So she brings over and to the mayor and says, "Hey, look what I found in his hand. And this belonged to her." So they lied. They did not find this guy hurt by bandits. So then Mayor looks over at one of his goons, says, "Hey, head down to the boat. Go see if the American is there on the boat." And I think that was it, right? That's how this ends. Not a big climax ending here. Like I get it. We got a lot of action. No complaints there, but we already know the outcome of that. And because Daryl doesn't know that Carol was going to come up with this lie about the boat, right? So it's not like, oh, he's going to go and do whatever he has in Barcelona and then head back to the boat just in case the mayor shows. No, that's not happening. So this guy's going to show up at the boat and not see him unless Carol finds out there's someone going to the boat, tells Boat Lady has one of her boy toys, go over there and then just like get under a cover or something, in the boat. So that when the guy peeks in, he'll see like somebody sleeping and be like, "Oh yeah, I saw him. He's there just sleeping in." You laugh, but that would be the cover. That would make the most sense. Because it's not so much to talk to him or bring me the American. It's go see if he's there. And if the guy is just if Daryl is supposed to be sleeping on the boat, like Carol said, then all they need is to have somebody with a cover over his head. Like that's it, just a back.
Yeah. We'll see about that. We'll see what happens.
Because if not, what's gonna? Yeah, that's far-fetched. Probably won't happen. They'll send somebody down at the boat. Maybe Carol sees, hunts him down, kills him. That's most likely what'll happen. He won't return. And then there's no answer because what's the end result? He goes, "No, there was nobody at the boat." All right, Carol, tell us the truth. What's going on? Same thing. You two, Antonio, you're going to jail or whatever. They're going to put him and lock him until you tell us the truth. No more treatment for Roberto until you tell us what really happened. That type of deal. So we will see. But hey, people, what did you think of this episode? If you didn't like this episode, don't comment. If you like this episode, please comment. If you like this show, give a like. Didn't like this coverage, still give a like. This is a fantastic show. Daryl Dixon is a fantastic show. I have a bunch of shows that are my top 5 that I enjoy watching. This is one of them. And when people ask me what shows they should be watching, I always put this one on the list. Yeah, they'll roll their eyes and then move on. They think I'm joking. I am not joking. This is a fun show. It's a lot of action. If you're into action and zombies and just a guy being a badass who doesn't want to do any helping. I mean, I'm really surprised that he did this, but I think he only felt like he had to do this because they gave him water. They helped him. If there was a person on the road and was like, "Hey, can you come to my village and help me with all those problems?" I think he would have just drove off if he was okay. But the fact that he wasn't, he needed water. They gave him water, whatever little they had. They said the sad story. He already had a run-in with these people. So he had to get payback anyway and get his bike back. So he already had a reason to interact with with those people. But he's one track right now. It's Get to America. He needs to come back home. You know, like Swan from the Warriors, get to Coney Island. For some reason, Daryl wants to go to Ohio real bad. And that's not where the Commonwealth is. Have they really explained why Ohio, besides that he says it's beautiful? Right? Why? I don't know.
No, I can't think of anything.
Right? There's no it's not like, oh, Judith or some other people I'm part of, our groups or friends are going to meet up with me there. No, we don't know. They just name dropped that state and that's it. I
It's
really
the
thought he
state
was
that's
going to.
produced the most presidents. That's all I can think about.
And right now, who knows? Maybe he's producing a whole lot of nothing because the walkers, maybe they walked all out. At this point, we're over a decade in of the fall. How many people are still around? Because remember, walkers, they die out. Yes, they're walking dead, but the limbs, stuff, the bones, they all just rot away eventually. So there has to be some areas that were not overpopulated, that pretty much safe to live in. Yeah, the show introduced hordes that would migrate around, but still. Anyway, if you know why he wants to go to Ohio so bad, put it in the comments because I don't think they ever really clarified the reason. And Carol's also on board with this whole going to Ohio. Doesn't even bring up let's go to the Commonwealth. They have not mentioned anybody else back at the Commonwealth. They don't care about Judah. They don't care about Ezekiel, Eugene, nobody. It's just these two want to go and live in Ohio, I guess, alone. And Antonio, if she can convince to bring Antonio. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, everybody. Thanks again for tuning in, checking this out. Thanks for also checking out over at thekoalition.com. Do a lot of coverage for just like this TV shows and video games and movies and all kinds of stuff. You could also, like I said, check out Carlos over at the Throwdown Show on YouTube and also on Twitch. You can find me here on the Koalition, also at the TV Terminal, covering a bunch of shows. Just from the Chief of War, we're covering Tulsa King and Slow Horses, Gen V, a bunch of stuff. But hey, just thanks for all the support for all of this, and we will be back next week for episode 6 of Daryl Dixon. All right, everybody, peace.
Peace.